What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Nice Guys Podcast. As always, I got my boy D Money with me. D, how you feeling, brother?
Nah, I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. And as you guys can see, we got a special guest with us tonight. D, we're excited. It's the second episode in a row that we've had a special guest. So we're on the tear with special guests. Hopefully, we can keep it going and maybe have one next week too. Otherwise, if not, we'll hold down the fort as always. But we're all excited about tonight's episode. Gonna chop it up with our special guest up there and see what the night brings us. Before we introduce her, D, got anything to share with the people?
Hmm. Oh, well, I said I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but fuck Matt Canada. That's
Okay,
all I gotta say.
that's all you got to say.
Yeah,
That's all we got to say about it.
yeah, that's all I gotta say. Too many injuries right now too. But
Yeah, I heard Pickett went down.
on a 4th and 1, running the ball, they wanted to run a play out of shotgun on 4th and 1. Uh,
Stupid.
like I said, I don't even want to talk about it, dude.
Well, let me ask you real quick before we move on. The injury looking serious, or is it looking like something he can bounce back pretty quick from?
I haven't heard anything about it yet, but it was his knee, so
Great.
I don't really know.
Well, prayers up for the guy. So hopefully,
Yeah.
for wishing a speedy recovery. If he's got to be out for extended period of time, we'll wish him the best. So, without further ado, like I said, we have a special guest with us tonight. This is my sister. I had my wife on here already, keeping it a family affair on the podcast. Hey, how you feeling?
I'm nervous.
You're nervous. Why are you nervous?
Yeah. Because I have to talk about myself.
You don't like to talk about yourself?
Sometimes I have to be really in the mood to talk about myself, and right now it's not that time.
Well, hopefully for the next hour you'll be in the mood to talk about yourself. It's gonna be simple.
Probably will.
I promise you. You're gonna have a good time with us. And at the end of it, we'll ask you if you want to come back, and hopefully you do. And if not, no hard feelings, because we know it's not for everybody.
Right.
To make you feel a little bit better, Jagger was on last week, and he was nervous. I think he was.
Oh yeah, he was shitting bricks. I told him because you were supposed to come on last week and you couldn't because we started early. And I told him, I said, you better get a list ready because if we need you, you better get your ass on here. He didn't make a list. He was so unprepared after I told him for hours beforehand that he needed to. And then I don't think he will come back on.
No, you don't think so?
I don't think. No.
Yeah, he just is he's the talk off camera kind of guy. He'll share the stuff with us off camera. He doesn't want to put himself out there. Which, hey, you know what? Give him credit for trying and doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's not for everybody, but we appreciate him nonetheless coming on. So, Tay, first question I have for you, as I ask every guest that comes on here, as much as you're comfortable sharing, just kind of give the people that don't know you, that might tune in to an episode, tell them a little bit about yourself, what you're doing right now in life.
Hello. I'm Taylor. I'm Tyler's little sister. I'm 19. I go to Kent State University, and I do psychology. That's my major, with a focus in child psych, but probably not going to go down that route. We're probably just going to do like clinical psychology, go where the money is. I might work in the hospital and do that kind of psychology, but I still have 2 years to determine that. So right now it's just psychology.
I got you. Good deal. So, obviously, a very, very serious major that you're studying. A lot of people might not choose that major, and so you're probably one of the few that has chosen that major. Let me ask you, why have you chosen that major? What has made that pop out to you to want to pursue?
Well, I like that you can figure out how the brain works and like why people are feeling the way that they are feeling. And especially, I took this class. It's called Abnormal Psychology, and it talks about disorders that people have and how they get them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that class because it just like kind of gives you an understanding about why people are the way they are. And then it kind of just helps you when you are talking to other people, like, okay, maybe they're going through something and they're not talking about it. So, and also I feel like more recently people are coming out saying that they're feeling depressed or they're going through something, and like there's a need for psychologists. So it's a very like needed field. So it's like probably a guaranteed job no matter what, because there's so many people who are now coming out saying that they have ADHD or depression or bipolar, and like they need somebody to talk to. So that's why I wanted to do psychology.
I got you. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, it's excuse me. Like I said, definitely a very noble career choice. Especially just people might not know how to get their feelings out there and know what they're talking about. Here at the Nice Guys podcast, obviously we've dealt with our stuff, D Money and I, and so we're really big advocates for mental health. And excuse me, Duper and I did an episode about it back, I think the very second episode, and we talked about mental health and how much more prevalent and needed it is for psychologists and therapists today than it was back then, because a lot of people probably kept it bottled up and didn't talk about it. And I know it's TV. I really go ahead. What?
No, raising my hand saying I did.
What? Didn't want to talk about
Kept
it?
it balled up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, same. Um, and I know it's a TV show. I do, but it's it's hard to not think that this time frame was like it. But I'm watching the Peaky Blinders right now, and phenomenal show, by the way. We're
Love it.
getting ready to start the third season, so getting ready for the best season.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I love the Italian shit. So anyway, Arthur in a couple episodes ago talked about how his head felt like a barge carrying a shit ton of weight, and like because he had just killed that kid in the boxing ring when he punched him to death,
Oh,
and he like
yeah.
got on top of him. So Tay, you don't know, but like this character fought, and like back then they had to fight, so they just got
Mhm.
back from the war, and like the reaction that Thomas Shelby had to his brother Arthur, saying that he like grabbed him and like punched him in the face and said like suck it up, like we got shit to do. If you can't handle it, then check the fuck out, kind of deal. And so it's obviously viewed and observed in a very different light nowadays than it was back then, I'm sure. So that's cool. So you said that you were thinking about child psychology, but you're still up in the air about that?
Yeah. Just because I like to work with I want to work with children. I feel like children are the most vulnerable and they're like the most interesting because like with adults, it's very much easier for them to hold the feelings in and like just say what they have to say and that's it. Whereas with children, they talk about anything to anybody. And so you can really get an idea of what they're going through without having to go through a lot of obstacles. And you can help them really early on so that in the future they're much more easier to like say what they want to say. They can go on and express their feelings no problem because they've gotten the help earlier on. Whereas adults, they're like closed off, reserved. They don't really want to talk about it unless they absolutely have to. And at that point, it's like, as a psychologist, you'd have to like really get in there, have them trust you, and really just convince them to talk about things that they have to talk about. Whereas with kids, it's like you're learning a lot of new things because obviously things are evolving. So kids are obviously going to have new things to talk about all the time. And it's just like, I think it's easier to talk to kids and to help them because they're much more open to talking to people and expressing how they feel whereas adults are just like reserved, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel that is because like with kids they're more trusting than adults are, and like they don't have that, I guess, mindset of being judged, and they can feel like they can come forward with their feelings a lot more? Or why do you think that
Yeah,
is?
I think children obviously they don't really have the concept of judgment and they don't really understand that people can judge you. They just kind of like, oh, okay, well they're friends. You know how like easy it is for as a kid to like make a friend, talk about literally anything and just like go on.
Yeah.
And also I think today parents are more aware of mental health than they were back then. So it's like parents are preaching mental health to their kids now than they have before. And so that also gives the incentive that children are going to be more open because their parents are open about talking to people and they're telling them like if you need the help, get the help rather than like suck it up. Like, you know what I mean?
Like deal with it. Yeah. I got you. I got you. D, you got any questions, bro, that pop in your mind like on the tangents I'm talking about?
I mean, I've said what I had to say about that kind of shit, but I do like psychology. That shit's dope. I took the class in high school, and that really piqued my interest about psychology. And then I took a class when I was at Gateway, and that stuff's I just like learning about the brain and everything that she's talking about. I think all that shit's dope. So good for you. Good for you that you're going on that path.
Good deal. Good deal. Um, I did have a question, and this goes to both of you because I'd like to see both of your guys' opinions on it. Do you feel that in the world we live in today, do you feel that mental health is quickly medicated? Like behaviors, do you think that a therapist or a psychologist is more apt to put somebody on medication to see if it helps, as opposed to, and I'll explain. I'll be open and honest in this episode. This is a dope episode already. I could tell, because I love to dive into this shit. But do you feel that therapists are quick to medicate before going another avenue?
Like as in medicating before like having them come in and like
Not
talk to them.
not even that. I want to, so I don't want to take a lot of time on this in this explanation. So I've been to therapy twice in my life, and I've had some things happen in my life, and I've just, family in my mind is going to tell me what I want to hear sometimes. There's very few family members that I have that'll maybe be blunt and honest with me about things. So to me, it doesn't really help me and doesn't help my mind. So I've gone to therapy twice, and I've talked to two great therapists, and one back home in Ohio when I lived, and then one out in Indiana when I lived out in Indiana, and she really helped me. But one of the main things that I was very against medication. Not against medication as a whole, but against me being medicated
Yourself.
because I felt like, well, why do I have to go straight down to that medication route? And like there was so many, and it's called and Tay might know this with school and stuff, but it's called an emotions wheel. So like there's this big ass wheel that's got like emotions, like 6 to 8 emotions, and then those 6 to 8 emotions break down to 12 or 16. Then those 12 or 16 break down to 24 to 36, and those 24 break down to 48. And it's all these things, and it's like, damn, like I'm feeling mad, but I'm also feeling mad because I'm anxious, or I'm feeling mad because I'm sad, or I'm feeling mad because I'm euphoric. I'm at a hearing, I know what the crash is going to be like. So the biggest thing that my therapist did for me when I went was I told him I wasn't wanting to do medication. I didn't want to really do that route. And we did, like, there was home exercises to do. That's what I'm trying to get at. So as opposed to, do you think a therapist is more quick to maybe medicate in some aspects than do the home exercises, or what's your opinions on that?
I think it's definitely based on the therapist. There are some therapists where they're like straight to medication, seeing what works for you, and then going off of that. Because I know some therapists, they want to get you on medication, see what you react with, see how you react. Because like some medication might work for you and some might not. Whereas other therapists, they take the route of like homework. Like
Yeah.
I know my friend, she went to therapy, and instead of doing medicine, which she was still on medicine, her main thing was every week she would see her and she would have a goal at the end of the week. So like, I want you to go home, and during the week, I need you to write 3 things down that you like about yourself every day of the week. And I honestly think that rather than medication, I would definitely start on that approach of homework and like self-reflection, because I think if you're given something to do, which some people don't like that, and that's why they go the medication route, because some people are just like, I'm not doing homework, it's therapy, not like school.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely think homework with people who like need to self-reflect, because a lot of times it honestly helps if you're reflecting. You're like, okay, well, this is definitely going to help me. And what do I like about myself today? And then you go back and you report and you talk about it. And I definitely think that's a better route to take, because I think people definitely need to work on themselves with somebody who is blunt and honest with them, meaning like they're going to tell you what they need to tell you because that's their job,
Right.
whereas they don't want to tiptoe around you. And so I definitely think instead of going the medication at first, see what your client is like, see how they are, and then from there, after the homework that you've been giving them, then you talk about medication and see like, okay, well, we talked about it, I can recognize that these are your problems and they can be fixed by this kind of medication.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's your opinion on it, D?
It's pretty much the same because I was literally gonna say that it just depends on the therapist because like as soon as she said that I was like because I've never, obviously with the shit that I dealt with, I never went to therapy. I just always kept it bottled in, but it was a long period of time where I was dealing with the shit that I was dealing with. So it was like I felt as if I was used to dealing with the shit when I really wasn't. I found that out the hard way.
Uh-huh.
At 24 years old when I fucking had the fucking mental breakdown that I did, and then I finally was like, all right, I need to fix my shit right now. And then I kind of like took the steps to get myself to where I am now, essentially, you know. But yeah, I definitely think it is depending on a therapist and how Taylor was saying. It depends on, you know, if you do go the route of doing like the homework situation. Like I get where you're coming with, you know, do the things that are being said so you can essentially be like, I don't know what the word. I'm trying to use the best word that I can, but I can't think of it right now. So that's sick. But and they're basically pretty much what Taylor said with the homework, and then after you're done with the homework, then they kind of go off of there like an evaluation. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So like evaluating you throughout the week or whatever, or the month or however long they want to do the evaluation before they give you your medication if you want to go the medication route. So
Yeah. I will tell you, I do want to share this other story, and Tay, you can chime in on your opinion on this too. D as well. I don't, you know, but so when I when I was getting hired for the sheriff's office for Grant County, we had to do got to go through all the testing. And then it was the background check, of course. You know, making sure that nothing popped up on that. And then we had to go sit down for a psych eval. Okay. Now I don't know if you've ever had a psych eval done, but those things are long. They're crazy. So and I worked for people that don't know. I talked about it time and time again in past episodes, but I worked with at-risk youth in Indiana, and it was more of a clinical rehab treatment facility than it was a detention center or juvenile hall where kids were there just solely based off of crimes, and we had to rehabilitate them and get them back out on the streets, and we saw recidivism. So we didn't see that because it was a mental facility to try to work on, you know, oppositional defiant disorder, ADHD, ADD, reactive attachment disorders, so like stuff like that. But I had to go for this psych eval. So the reason I mentioned that is because I used to work in the administrative side where I read all of these kids' psych evals, and my job was to read this paperwork, A, determine if they were appropriate for our facility, and B, what program best suited their needs. So that's a lot of pressure on me to do that, especially being like 21. Like I didn't know that's, you know what I'm saying? And so I went and got a psych eval done, and the sheriff's office lets you have it. Like they report back to the sheriff's office, and then you get a copy of it. It's just crazy for me. From like 5 or 6 hours of doing this dude determined and like knocked like my behavior and mindset and like how I live my life like right on the head and never met me. It's crazy. Like it just blew my mind. Like I read it and I'm like, yeah, maybe I am like that, or yeah, maybe I do that sometimes, or maybe I do obsess on things a little bit, you know. But it was crazy, and it was based off of dude. It was crazy. This guy was like, okay, you have 6 cards here. Put them in order and how you think they go, or I'll tell you a word and you give a word back to me, and and off of that, the dude was able to say I was like this, and this, and it's crazy. Have you seen that? Either one of you?
Yeah,
That's
we
crazy.
went over that in class.
What diagnostic evaluations?
Hmm.
Yeah, they're crazy. Read up on them, D. Like you like the
we're gonna
brain
have
and
to because
how it
that sounds
works.
fucking dope.
It's crazy. Like you can like I'm sure there's YouTube videos on it. I'm sure there's like Reddit posts or something about it. But yeah, it's nuts. Just crazy how smart those people are and how honed in they are. But so let me ask you, Tay. So you want to do this in a hospital setting, or you want to do this in an office like private practice setting kind of deal?
Well, I mean, like either way, I would enjoy it. I think in the hospital, I like it more just because you're dealing with trauma patients who are there because, you know, they thought they saw a demon in their room, or they went through a car crash and now they experienced PTSD. Like you're actually like going through their trauma with them, and it's like crazy stuff. I mean, even in the office, like just going like private practice, you're still hearing a lot of crazy stuff. But like to me, being in the hospital, there's a lot more interesting things that happen because one day you could have somebody who saw a demon in their room, and then you're going to assess them. Whereas the next day, somebody got into a car crash, and now they're suffering PTSD, and now you're going to go over what they are feeling. And I think it's like a lot of unique experiences in a hospital, but also in a private practice setting. Like people are going to come in and tell you the strangest, wildest stories, and that's still going to be cool. So either way, I would enjoy what I'm doing. because it's just the job itself rather than like where I'm at.
Sure. Absolutely.
You're
Absolutely.
gonna get a lot more people in a hospital
Yeah.
because hospitals can't turn people down. Well, I mean, I guess practices can't either, but most like private practices, I'm sure you have to pay a certain fee like
Yeah.
up front to go to that practice. But at a hospital, they can't turn you away. So like when you're in the hospital, you're going to hear everything, even if it's something small to something huge. But at a
Right.
private practice, you might hear you know something little from compared to what you would hear at a hospital that was huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. Well, and two, I think in the hospital setting, you're going to deal with pink slipped patients or mental hygienes and stuff, like people that might commit a crime, but people that know them and their family, it's a complete shock to them because like they would never do that. Why are they here? Why are they doing that? And so that's where
Right.
Taylor's profession would come in
yeah.
and do that, which I think is dope for sure. Um, so let me ask you, Tay, like, have you? So the people don't know if you're comfortable sharing. You made a transition from the Kent State branch up at Kent State to the East Liverpool branch. Did
Yeah.
like what played a part in that? Like because I know your story. I don't know. I'll let you share it in that aspect.
I mean, I just wanted to experience college. I wanted to, like be independent and be on my own and just experience what it would be like. And I got up to school and at first it was fine. It was like, oh, just college, yay, like just fresh start, new. And then I sat there and I was just like, you know what, college isn't for me. I'm not like a go party. I'm not a go and like I'm not a very social person like I used to be. I used to be really social and then I just kind of fell back and like don't really talk to new people quite often. So like for me, college was like scary. Didn't like it. I didn't like being in a dorm all day and have to get on a bus just to go get my car to go somewhere. I didn't really talk to people. I didn't like leave my dorm room and I was like, you know what? It makes no sense to pay or like to stay here, room and board, meal plan when I could go home and drive about 40 minutes and do the same stuff and graduate through East Liverpool because I can do my full 4 years there. And I just college wasn't for me. I feel like people should definitely go experience college and determine whether it's for them or not. But for me, I went, didn't like it, and I was like, there's no point in paying the money when I could be at home, be comfortable, and still do what I have to do.
For sure.
So
For sure. D
I'm gonna
did.
piggyback off. I'm gonna
Yeah.
piggyback off of the college route because I did it. So graduate high school, you get to go to Gateway for 2 years for free with the grant or whatever, the Horizon grant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I went for the first year, did fine. Well, first semester, I did the first semester. I passed everything with flying colors, whatever. And then the second semester, I was kind of like, I feel like I'm in high school still because I'm at home. I'm driving. Like I feel like I'm still just driving to high school, but just people that I've never seen before in my classes, essentially.
Right.
And then so I decided maybe I should try college. Maybe I should just go and see, if it's for me, which I knew from the bottom of my heart that it wasn't. I'm never been a school guy. I'm, a shit test taker. I'm shit at doing schoolwork. I'm just not good at school, period. I just did what I had to do in high school to graduate to where I can do really whatever I wanted afterwards. Like, because you got to have a fucking diploma or a GED to get a job, essentially. Um, but so I decided I was going to go to college. I ended up going to West Lib. I was there for a semester, but exactly like Taylor said, right when I got there, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. Independence. Yeah, sick. I'm in a dorm with my buddy. This is awesome, sweet. And then my mood just went from this straight to this. And that was when I think that was the hardest time of my life where I dealt with all the emotions that I had because I was extremely, extremely depressed when I was there. Like I remember I would sleep all day. Like I had no ambition to get up and do shit. Like I would wake up and go down to breakfast maybe, and then I would come back to my dorm and lay in bed all day. I didn't go to classes. I just said I don't want to go. And there was actually this one day I was sitting in my dorm and there's this girl that went and was in my class with us and she was just being nice and she came and knocked on the door, and was giving me the notes for the day. She's just a friend that I had up there, just being nice to me, And she hasn't I haven't been to class for probably 2 weeks at this point. She was like, so she came and was trying to give me notes, and I remember she knocked on the door, and I yelled at the door, was being an asshole, thinking it was I wasn't expecting her to come to the door because I didn't really talk to, you know what I mean? I didn't talk to her, but it wasn't someone I expected to come to the door. So she knocked on the door, and I screamed at the door, and then she came in, and then as soon as that happened, I felt like a complete fucking asshole. I was like, all right, maybe I need to get out of here, and this isn't for me. This is not. I don't want to be like this. And all my buddies that were there would try to get me to go out on the weekends, and I would just want to go home. I would go home on the weekends every weekend. I would never want to do anything. We would play basketball there, almost every night at the gym there, and I stopped going because I just didn't care to do anything. We had a men's football league, like a flag football league down on the field. I just stopped doing that. I stopped doing everything. I didn't hang out with anybody. I literally sat in my room from morning to night, slept all morning to night, barely got up, barely ate, and then I would sleep again and just repeat every day. And then that was when I was kind of like, man, I need to get out of here. And the sad thing is when I was going to classes, I wasn't failing any of them. I was doing fine in every one of them. I was passing all of them easily, I just didn't care to do anything. And I don't know, and that's the thing about mental illnesses and stuff. You never really know where some parts of it stem from. It's just kind of hits you, and you're like, hey, why am I feeling this way? And that's when Taylor's playing kind of tells me why I'm feeling that way if I'm telling them how I'm feeling. But I never went down that path of talking to anybody, and I've had people tell me, go talk to somebody, but I just never did because I was never one to talk about anything, and I just kept everything balled up and ended up biting me in the ass. But you learn from it, and I'm good now, obviously. So, but yeah, it took me till I was damn near 25 years old to finally figure my shit out.
Yeah.
So, and that was only 3 years ago because I'm only 28. So,
yeah. Never too late
it's
to
crazy,
finish your
man.
shit out or
I
figure
know.
shit out.
Yeah, and it's also crazy because it happened so early in my life. I don't talk bad on my parents being divorced and stuff like that, but I think that might be kind of where it started because it's hard to balance two sides of a family. You know what I mean? I know you guys probably deal with that a little bit.
Yeah.
So, it's tough. And I mean, obviously love my parents to death. I got my brothers and my little sisters from my parents remarrying and stuff. So it's awesome. It's sweet, but sometimes it's tough. And I think, and obviously as time got older, time went on, it was a lot easier to kind of, I guess, cope with the problems or deal with the problems than it was when I was younger because I really didn't have a say in what I was doing when I was younger. I kind of just had to go do it. And now it's kind of like when I got out of high school and stuff, I was like, I can do what I want. I don't have to go somewhere if I don't want to. You can't force me to go somewhere if I don't want to go. But that's probably where it stemmed from the most. But that really, I don't know. It's not a fun thing. I wouldn't. I guess you could say it has its pros and cons. You got to, like I just said, you got to the cons. You got to deal with both sides of the balancing both sides of the family, and then the pros. I got essentially three brothers and two sisters from it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but but it is what it is. Good now, obviously. So, fuck it.
Rocking. Girl dad.
Yep.
How's she
You
doing?
see my shirt?
I can't see it.
That's what it says.
Girl dad. That's funny.
She's good. She's we upped her formula for the every feed. She's sleeping a lot better through the night.
Good.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Last night we went to bed at, I think I fed her at 11:30, and I was dozing off while I was feeding her. I was struggling, and I don't think she woke up till 6:30 this morning.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a lot of sleep. Yeah, good deal.
But she's something else. I don't know if you can see this, but
oh, that's funny.
She's a ham, dude.
Yeah,
she cracks me up.
That's cool. Yeah,
she's something else.
That's cool. Another question for you, so how what would you say were some like decompression techniques or something like that that might have helped you through your hard times and stuff? Like that you would offer maybe to somebody that's listening that maybe is too scared to go talk to a therapist and might be some good advice for somebody, you know.
Um, I would say focusing on what you need. My biggest thing was going home every weekend. I went home and spent time with the people that I knew I wanted to see. And also, me and my roommate were best friends. We're still best friends. We would always go out. Like, if both of us were feeling down, which most of the day we would go out and we would just drive to Walmart, go to Target, like, just go out and get yourself out of the place you are in. Because if you just stay, like, if I sat in my dorm room all day, nothing's going to change because I'm not doing anything to change it. Whereas, like, we
Literally.
went out, we went to like Walmart, we went out to eat, we just like got out of our room and like just even if we didn't talk to anybody, it was just the two of us. We would talk to each other. I kind of just leaned on my best friend. She was kind of my therapist. I was her therapist throughout the entire time. So definitely have somebody around that you trust 100%. And if you don't, talk to yourself because really the only person who knows what you're going through and who can understand it 100% is yourself. So even if you just talk to yourself and you're like, yeah, no, totally, that makes sense. You know what I mean? And just kind of like doing what you think you need to do, whether it's like take a self like care day, like, get a shower, read a book, watch a movie, like just do something that relaxes you and like can get your head out of where you were before. That's definitely like one of the biggest things. And just like knowing what your limits are, knowing what you need to do. That's really all that I could come up with.
No, that's fine. That's good. D, you got any?
No, because I was shit at it.
I got you. One thing that
So I mean, I wish I could give some, but
nah, that's all
that
right.
listening to what Taylor said, it kind of is like, yeah.
Hey,
Because I
hold
mean,
on one
I
second.
don't. All right.
All right, sorry. I thought I heard him just absolutely screaming his head off up there.
Well,
Yeah, he is. Let's take an intermission just real quick. So I would say one of the decompression techniques that helped me out a lot, and this was something that my therapist in Indiana told me about, and it was really cool. So there was two of them. They were journal entries. So one, every day I had to put um, three emotions that I felt for that day, and explain why I felt that way, and what part of the day it was, and why I felt that way. And then another one was every day I had to put did the day go as planned? If it didn't go as planned as to how I wanted it planned, why did it not go to plan? And how did that affect my mood? So like and stuff like that. But it's just it makes you stop and think and dive deep in and tackle the emotion and kind of get through and talk yourself through it a little bit. And you're like, oh, okay, like I felt this and I can recognize that. And then just like self recognition, like Tay said, as far as realizing that you're in a funk and you're like, you're used to being up here, but you might be right here right now. Let's try to get you back up there. And there was just like some things I would do, like deep breathing. Um, Big thing for me, man, and D, I know you can relate to this, was music. So a big thing for me was just riding in the car away from everybody else and just putting on some music that I could resonate. Or to be honest with you, and I'll be completely transparent and I don't really care, is I throw on some sad ass songs and cry about it. I get in my feels with some sad ass music and just let the tears
yeah.
flow, and I would feel so much better because I just let it out. Or I'd be sitting in the car screaming and like just like letting everything out. There's this dope ass TikTok page on TikTok that I've seen, and it's called the Men's Retreat. And it's these guys, they go away and they don't have their phones, they don't have anything. They go there with just, I think, like a backpack of clothes, and they're there. And like these guys that run it just like teach them how to get through their shit. And like there's videos of them just like hugging each other, crying and screaming and like letting everything out. And like I don't know, it's dope, dude. Like it's moving. It's just so emotional, obviously, because they're going through shit and they're letting it out.
I
But
saw something like that on like ESPN one night, like late at night or right in the morning or something. Um, it was these athletes that like got hurt or had had an injury or something that took them out of the game and they weren't allowed to play anymore.
Mhm.
And they really took it hard and like they were down and they that's what made me think of that, because they had them all go to like a retreat type deal and like had a therapist in there, and I think they were like talking to him, and like you can see that they were like breaking down in tears, talking about the what how they felt and how it affected their families and all that kind of stuff. Because it's like imagine being a top pick in like the NFL draft, and
Yeah.
you blow your knee out to where you can't play ever again, and that was your lifestyle and your living, and that was what you did to make yourself happy, like
Right.
outside of your family. And now you don't have that one thing outside of your family that makes you happy, that to where you're just down all the time. And then it's obviously it's putting a toll on you and your family, like your wife, husband, your kids, you know. So I that's what made me think of that, because I was thinking that was what you were talking about, and then I was like, I don't think it is, because I remember seeing it on like ESPN.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm sure it's similar, but it's like, I don't know. It's just like they go into this warehouse and then they get their pamphlets of what it's going to be about. And then they break down and they go into these groups, and like, it's like group therapy essentially, man. Like it's,
yeah,
but it's cool because it's like just a bunch of strangers coming together and like loving each other, man, never met each other a
yeah.
day in their life. So it's pretty cool.
I feel like that's the easiest people to talk to though sometimes.
Strangers. Oh yeah.
People you
Yeah.
have no idea who the fuck they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've like Milkees. Remember Milkees?
Hmm.
Okay. When I worked at Nappies with him, like he was the guy. Like he came to me the first time and started talking to me about like something he had something going on in his life. Like just the fact that he came to me, and I'm like, I know you because I work with you, but like I've never really had a conversation with you. And then he came to me and talked to me about the problem he was having, and like literally from there on out, it was kind of like, oh well, I can go to him now with something because he came to me. He felt that I was good enough to talk to help him out. So now it's like I can feel comfortable talking to him even though I don't really know him.
Right. Yeah, that's
And then
dope.
obviously we had a good friendship grow off of that.
Right.
So
Right. Absolutely, man. Yeah, there's another group to check out too, for anyone listening. So we play this game on the podcast called Let's Get Deep, and it's really cool. It's a bunch of questions. We've done it a couple of different episodes. There's another version of the game called I think it's called How Deep Will You Go, and it's these kids that are on these, like, they live in these college towns, and they'll go to different college campuses and sit down with random strangers, and they'll ask them to pick a card, and they'll play the game together with them. And it's dope because it's like they don't know each other at all, and they're hearing these life
I've
stories off
seen
this.
that.
Yeah,
I've seen people do that on TikTok.
it's cool though.
Yeah,
So
that's dope.
yeah. Well, Tay, real quick, since you're the special guest, anything else that you'd like to share about your
Just one
perfect thing?
one.
Is there anything else that you want to share about your, your experience with your field that you've learned so far that you want to share with anybody, or anything else you want to share?
I think the like biggest thing is that people are just so reserved, and I just never realized how like people just like were going through so many things, and then they just wouldn't talk about it because they felt like they were going to be judged. I think the main reason why people don't go see a therapist is because they feel like they're going to be judged, made fun of. And I definitely think that stereotype of being like, oh, you go to therapy, like, definitely should not be a thing because it's so normal just to talk about your feelings.
Right.
Like, I don't see the difference between talking with a friend versus talking with a professional. That's just my opinion. But I also think that, like, nobody should ever be embarrassed to go talk to somebody because you would be surprised about how it actually helps, like, to just get it all off of your chest
Yep.
and talk to somebody who's going to give you solutions rather than just tell you what you want to hear, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And another really cool thing is like you should see how people develop like these like ADHD and like all that. It's really cool just to see like what like it stems from, like the main thing being like environment, like just where you were raised is like your biggest influence about how you can, become depressed or become or get ADHD, things like that. But you should like definitely search up how people develop like stuff like that. It's really cool to learn about.
I indeed, if you got something else you want to share too before we go into questions and stuff like that, but I will say the three things that I've noticed that like once out now in my life made me think. One, the best way that I could describe how I was feeling in my worst times, it literally felt like weight on my shoulders, like literal weight on my shoulders, like something just heavy on me, or like just like like the feeling of a weighted blanket, like walking around with one of those on you, and then just like a gray cloud just over your head, and like you're just in the fog, like you're just seeing the gray, and you can't get out of it, and no matter what you do or shift or do anything like that, it doesn't work, and I will say this is kind of weird, but I think I've always had some minor OCD stuff. I've always been like, I got to clean or I've got to organize or I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I'll tell you, ever since Jameson was born, I think it's very heightened and become worse in my life as far as that goes because I'm very routine driven, and I think that's why my diet has worked so well for me this time around, where it's failed any other point in times in my life. So it's a positive thing because it's like I've got to eat this or I can't eat that because I'm gonna gain 800 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how my mind works. And it's like now, like Lex and I have talked about this before, but like Lex's routine, she's got to lock the door before she goes, or she got to remember she thinks she turns everything off. And I find myself doing that. The two things that I can't do and go to sleep without doing every night: one, making sure the front door is locked, and two, checking the monitor to look at Jameson every night before I go to bed to make sure he's in a safe like sleeping position. And that's if I don't do that, and like I
Can't
know
sleep.
I can't sleep, I'll just sit there and toss the turn. I'm like, well, let me go check the door, or let me check the monitor, and then after that,
Yeah,
I'm just
I
like,
do that shit.
it's
Yeah,
like, and then I'm like knocked out.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. It feels like someone, like the way I always felt. It felt like someone was grabbing my fucking feet and was just pulling me
Really?
down, and I just couldn't step. Like, you know what I mean? That just felt like I was stuck in the same spot, like
Mm.
mentally for so
Mm.
many fucking years. But I do that shit too sometimes. I'll watch. Alexis loves watching fucking like true crime and all that shit right before bed.
Yeah.
Right before bed, and she doesn't. It doesn't phase her at all. But I don't watch that stuff. I don't watch TV when I go to bed. I barely watch TV as it is. So it's like I'm watching people break into houses and all this
Yeah.
other shit, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, I'm like, well, now I gotta fucking. Now I'm like, all right, well, is my door closed? Is
Yeah.
is my garage shut? Should I shut my garage when I got home 8 hours ago?
Yeah.
Like, is my garage been open the entire time? So like, I'll get out of bed and I'll fucking sprint downstairs and see if my garage is closed, and I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. It's been closed this whole time. Like, I'm freaking out about nothing,
Mm.
And so I do the same shit.
Yeah.
But as soon as like I'll lay there and I'll be like just staring off, and I'm like, did
Gotta
I
go
do
do it.
this?
Yeah.
Did I do that? And then I'm like, well, let me go check, and then I'll fucking come back and then I'll okay, like you said, but yeah, it's fucking
That's
wild.
weird, man. Hey, listen, like basically the point of this episode before we get into the other segments and stuff, and I'm sure I'll come back around to it at the close out of the episode. But most important thing, guys, if you guys are going through something and you're too afraid to talk to somebody, like Taylor said, talk to yourself. Start with yourself. It all starts within yourself. That's how you recognize it. Self recognition is a hell of a thing. Talk to a friend if you don't want to talk to a medical professional. If you don't feel that your friends or family or the people to go to, reach out. Somebody is there with helping hands, ready to help you. Listen to what you got to say. And as somebody that's gone through therapy not once but twice, it's a hell of a tool to have in your arsenal to deal with things. And I just mental health is a very important thing that is not talked about enough in our society. I think a lot of people talk about it, but mental health is mental health, and I think it needs to be talked about more and advocated for. And um, you know, people like Taylor that in the future will be the ones that will help deal with that. Very noble career. Very proud of her for that. And you know, as always, if you need somebody, reach out. And as Dee and I have said it before, if you listen to this episode and you want to reach out to us, we're always ears to listen to, a shoulder to cry on,
Yep.
to give you advice if you need it. Not that we've got everything figured out, but we've got a lot of life experience between us too, and love to help you out if we can. So
Yeah, so I was gonna say that too. I was gonna piggyback off that. Like, so real quick. So remember when Juice World died?
yeah.
Okay, so when that happened, like he released his first posthumous album,
Mm-hmm.
and dude, it fucked me. It bent me over and railed me so hard because
Hell of a
that
word
was the
choice right there.
hell yeah, it was. I mean, it put me through all the emotions,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
big time, because it was like that was the guy I listened to help me get through the later stages of what I was dealing with. Because he was just that guy that like he dealt with that shit. So it was like he's rapping about stuff and like he's also being like somewhat funny about some of the things he was saying, but at the same time he was like relating with me, and but when he passed, I remember I made a Facebook post about like after I listened to his album all the way through. And I remember saying something. I think I still got the note in my phone or the screenshot or whatever because I had to. It was too many characters to post on like Twitter and shit at the time.
Gotcha.
So I had to screenshot it and like post from the note section. Basically, like saying like mental illness is nothing to fuck around with. If you ever need anybody to talk to, like I'm always here, even if I have no idea who
I
you
remember
are.
seeing the post. I actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's like exactly what you said. Like if anybody ever needs someone to talk to, even if I don't know you, like I'm not going to turn you away. You know what I mean? So like, but you can't be like trying to have small talk with me. Like you got to kind of come out with it a little bit earlier than later because it's like I'm not going to just have small talk with you like for no reason, if that makes sense. Like I got no problem talking to the person, you know what I mean? But it's like I don't want you to like keep on wanting me to answer you back like if I'm busy or anything like that and then like it's eating at you more like instead of just hey, this is what I'm dealing with, like what should I do essentially, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But
for sure,
for
sure, absolutely. Well, let's get the episode rocking on. Let's move on to our next segment. I got these questions. I think we should start out with the questions, and then we could jump into this or that. And then I got your favorite segment you want to do. I know you're looking forward to it.
I am.
So Tay, you're the special guest. So as it works, is that's just this card game. We answer 3 random questions at your direction. You're going to tell me when to stop in the deck. I'll pull the card out. I did pull the ones out that we've already answered, so we ain't got to deal with that again. Yeah.
Good.
So you tell me when to stop. We'll answer the question, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Ready? Stop.
All right. Ooh, good question off the bat. If you could change one thing about your childhood, what would you change and why?
Childhood, huh?
I got a good one.
Go ahead.
Okay. It would be where I was born. Like, so I wouldn't be born somewhere like on a like in Florida or in Texas, like somewhere along the beach. I think that would have made my childhood much more fun. Like just going to the beach every day, not just a vacation. Like, you know what I mean?
And living in a different area.
And you probably would have a lot more experiences through like just being in a different area. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
For me, I would just like to be in a different area.
I can respect it.
That's the one.
You got one, D?
Not yet, because the most of the time people would say like if their parents are divorced and shit, which that does suck. But like I said a little bit ago, like I got a lot out of it, so I don't want to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got one, go ahead, because I don't got one right now.
I mean, I got 2 kind of half answers. One, I would say, I wish Taylor and I were closer in age. I wish there wasn't such a big age gap between us. It would have been cooler to be closer in age growing up through, more important years of our lives. Like now, like she's 19, I'm 27. So we're at very, very different stages in our lives. And so that, and then 2, like Tay said, not a different area. I mean, kind of. I wish I would have been in a better sports program growing up. Like, got more training, and like, I really loved baseball. Yeah. I really wish I could have taken baseball a lot further in my life, like with college or even professionally, but been set up in a place to do that. But other than that, I'm chilling. I went through life the way I was supposed to. So,
yeah, I'm actually going to agree with the second one because I was thinking sports, but I didn't really know how to word it. Because, like, if you look at, like, the sports nowadays, like, in high school, dude.
Crazy.
There's so much shit that people can do, like, to get themselves better, like, trainings and, like, lifting programs and stuff. Like, we didn't have that. Like, we had all-star teams that we just went and just played against other people. It wasn't anything, like...
one-on-one.
Yeah, it never made... I mean, it made you better, obviously, playing better competition and whatever, but yeah, like the one-on-one time, like the workouts programs and stuff like that, like that would have made a huge difference, which I fucking hated working out, but like through high school and stuff, obviously, but like when I did work out in high school was like my senior year. I worked out real hard because I still wanted to play college baseball somewhere. That was like what I wanted to do. Like I didn't play basketball because I kind of wanted to focus on baseball more than anything because I wanted to play baseball when I got out of high school. And it sucked because I didn't have like a hardcore workout session. Like I was lucky enough to have like Coach Hammock, for example. He took all the guys in there in like sixth period, and like whoever wanted to work out went and worked out with them. And I did try to do that every day during sixth period, like all the way through the school year. And it actually benefited me a lot. And then I got sick actually, and I lost all the muscle mass that I put on for that whole year. So it kind of like put me down, and I was like, well, this fucking sucks. But um, but yeah, definitely sports wise, like in that aspect, because it would have made, and I know me, it made me a hell of a lot better of an athlete, you
Mhm.
know. And
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I would have loved, to even just play college baseball, just see where I went with it. But
Right.
yeah,
I feel it.
yeah.
Good deal. You ready, Tay?
Yep. Stop.
Damn. D Money. You're gonna like this one. Nah, for real, you are. This might be a long episode tonight, everybody, so hang on tight. Have you ever questioned your spirit out? Oh, I can't say the word. Say it for me. Spirituality. There it is. Have you ever questioned your spirituality or considered changing religions? I know we like to talk about that shit, kind of, because you talk about the reincarnation and shit.
That's like the only thing I like to talk about, though. That's the kind of shit that, like, like I don't really have a religion. Like I don't really know anything about like religions and stuff. Like obviously God is real. I believe in God. That's you know, but I don't go to church. I don't really know anything about church. I don't really know much about the Bible. I have no clue about anything. But like spirituality and stuff, like when we talked about it before in previous episodes, that's what I think about. Like, which I don't know. Tay, did you see that episode?
Probably not.
Okay, so basically, we're talking about like reincarnation
Right.
and like where you think your body goes after you pass. And I was saying that like so I feel as if this is just my how I feel, and I said it in that episode, but like so like I feel as if like someone who passed in your life that has passed away is living in like so like for me, so say like my pop passed away, my Mimi's dad. Like what if he is living as Minka? Like what if he came back as a dog and he's Minka and he's living with me, watching over me, and that's why I'm so close with him. Like in that kind of aspect.
Right. Like reincarnation.
Yeah. So then like Alexis always says, you ever hear about like if you see cardinals?
Yeah, like they're sending signs. Yeah.
Yeah. And like Alexis sees cardinals all the time around our house. And she lost her pap and her Uncle Mav in like a 10-year span. So it's like she thinks, and most of the time there's always two of them. So it's like they're both right there, like sending her like, "Hey, we're watching you." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just wild to me. Like, I never really thought about it until like recent years, and then after I like thought about it more, I was like, that's just honestly crazy. Like, just thinking that you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to explain it even more, but that's like Taylor, your cat behind you that I keep seeing.
Oh,
Like
he's on the floor.
whatever, but like it's someone that you lost or like anything that you lost in your whole life. Like what if that person or whatever is your cat now and that's why you're so close with that cat? Like that's the way I think about it and that's it's crazy to me.
Yeah. That definitely is mind opening. Do you know what I'm saying? To think of that thing. Tay, you got an answer?
I mean, I was raised as a Catholic, went through all of the Catholic, like you went through, you'd get baptized, you went through communion, you went through PSR, like I was raised that way. So like there wasn't a time in my childhood I ever questioned like my like like if I like, oh, do I believe in this or not? I was just always raised to believe like, oh, God is real, heaven or hell, like all of that. But like ever since I became older and I went through high school and I went to college, it's like you really don't know what happens. You don't know how things were created. You don't know what happens after you die. So like I don't think like I know like for me I'm always going to believe God is real just because I've been raised that way. I won't ever think he's not real, but like a lot of things that they make you believe like, oh, Adam and Eve and all this, like you really don't ever know if that's true and you won't ever know. So I just like I like to hear conspiracies about different like things like the Big Bang or like, actually this is how this was created. So like do I think some of the stuff that they talk about in the Bible and like in like Catholic is real? I don't think it's real. I think they just make it up so you believe. But like, I don't know. I've never really questioned, but I just think sometimes what they tell you isn't real. Does that makes sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'll keep my answer short, but in the same respect of Taylor, I grew up Catholic, went to church, not every Sunday, but most Sundays, and all that stuff. Went through the I can't even think of what confirmation, um, did the confession, did the communion cycle, got baptized, all that stuff, and had some, went through some stuff, kind of stopped believing in God for a while, and then I met my girlfriend and now wife, Erin, and so she kind of her people that know me know her and know her what her family is, and her dad's a preacher, and so her religion's different. She's a Christian. She is I think she's a Protestant. Is their branch of the religion, and so I practice that faith now. And to me, it is a very less formal setting church. Catholic Church and Catholicism is very structured by the book in increments, and my wife's church is not like that. My father-in-law, I mean, it's my father-in-law. He could talk really well. I like listening to him. But the things that he says, I think I get more out of that message. So yeah, I have changed religions, and I think it's benefited me in my spiritual life now than I would have been if I was a continuing practicing Catholic. That's what I'll say on that. We got one more, and then we're moving on. You tell me when to stop, Tay.
Wait, can we hold on for a second? I need to let him out of the room.
Go ahead. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna just draw. D, you tell me when to stop while she's doing that.
Stop.
Oh, I lied to you. I didn't get all of them out of there. Go ahead and do another one.
Yep.
All right. Simple question. You ever been in a car accident? If so, what happened? I've never been in a serious car accident, so that's my answer. So I don't know. Nothing's happened.
I also have never been in a serious car accident.
I mean, I've never been in one that's like, put me in a hospital or anything, but the one that I could think of was actually, I think the one that I'm about to tell you about is why I get my migraines.
Okay, tell me.
Like, honest to God. So, um, I was coming home one night and it was snowy out, and where I was coming from, the hill kind of goes down and then it takes a right and then it takes a real hard right around the bend, and there's a guardrail going around this side, and then obviously there's like a brick type deal on this side. And I was going down the hill. It was icy out, and I was going like 5 miles an hour. Like I was going slow, and I was like, I don't like this, but I have to go home. I got to work in the morning. I touched my brakes, didn't do anything. I just started picking up speed. I remember hitting the first turn. I turned my wheel, and my wheels kept this way. So like they didn't turn at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, well, this is fun. So I'm fucking going down this hill and I start picking up speed. I'm probably going 25, 30 miles an hour at this point. And I fucking drilled the guardrail. And when I drilled the guardrail, my head hit the seatbelt thing. The thing that had like the big triangle at the top. My head whiplash, and I smacked it real fucking hard on the side of my head. And I usually get my migraines right up here on this side of my head. And it's just fucking like what are the odds? Because the migraine started happening like a couple months after that accident. But you know, I hit the guardrail so hard that I ricocheted all the way to the other side of the road, and like I said, there was like brick like on the other side. I hit that brick so hard it snapped my rim in half.
Jeez.
Yeah, all because of snow and ice, and you just can't control your car. So,
Right.
but that's probably the most serious I've been in. But
Feel it. Feel it. I didn't know you were in that accident like that. That's crazy. I didn't know that's why you got your migraines. I thought it was just always.
I think that's why I don't 100% know.
Sure.
But
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll leave it up to you, D. What do you want to do next? You want to do the this or that, or do you want to do the blind food thing?
do this or that first.
This or that first. All right.
Yeah.
Tay, you ready for this one? I explained it to
Yep.
you off camera. We'll see if you caught on or not.
Okay.
All right. The first one we got Nickelodeon versus Disney Channel.
Mm.
I'm going to go ahead and go first to kind of give Taylor just one more example in a live setting. So I'm going to say, man, I'm going to give it to Nickelodeon. I remember growing up watching more shows on Nickelodeon than I did Disney Channel. Disney Channel had bangers back in the day, cartoons that I like to watch on there as well.
The movies, bro.
And the movies too. Yeah, the movies too. But nonetheless, Nick and Knight didn't play around either.
No.
So I'm gonna take this to a 7-game series because it's so even. But I'm gonna give it to Nickelodeon in 7.
I agree with you. I'll go exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Nickelodeon
Because
in 7.
I like Nickelodeon, but I used to love the fuck out of them Disney Channel movies.
The original ones, right?
Like the original.
Yeah.
Like, sit down, let's watch
Yeah.
a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But okay, well, I don't agree with you because I grew up on Disney. I watched Hannah Montana, watched that on Harley, so I grew up more on Disney Channel. I still love Nickelodeon because I watched like SpongeBob and Dora the Explorer. But I'm gonna take Disney at 6.
6 games. Okay, respect it. I respect it. Oh, and I did not tell you. So at the end of it all, there's a matchup of the day. So like at whatever your favorite category was, you say that's your favorite category. You can wait till the end, or if like you hear one, you're like, oh yeah, that's my favorite. You can lock it in. Okay.
Got it.
Next one I got donuts versus cinnamon buns.
Donuts in 4.
Donuts in 4.
I love me a fucking donut.
Okay, you don't like cinnamon buns? Cinnamon
I
rolls?
do, but it's just
Damn, cook that shit
donuts.
quick with a 4-piece.
Donuts.
Donuts in 4. Tell you what do you got?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go donuts at 4. I don't like cinnamon rolls at all.
No kidding. All right. Now that hurts my heart. I'm gonna go 6 games. I'm gonna give it to donuts, but I'm gonna go 6 games because I do love cinnamon rolls. So, but not as much as donuts. Donuts have a more variety. We'll say that. I think that's what it gives them the win.
Actually, you know what? I'll give cinnamon rolls 1 game because of the sweet orange rolls. You ever have those?
Yeah, I know. What
I love those fucking things.
Yeah.
So I'll give the cinnamon rolls or whatever a game for that.
So
but
you're bumping
it's
it to
still
5 then.
Yeah, it's still donuts in 5.
Huh. Got another banger. 2 icons in the cereal community, neck and neck. They were teammates, but now they're enemies. They're opponents.
Raisin Bran, right?
We got no, not a chance. Nope. That's on the AARP promo we got coming up. We got Fruity versus Cocoa Pebbles.
Damn. That's a 7 gamer for sure.
7 gamer for sure for me as well.
I don't know, dude.
It's toss of the coin, honestly, for me. I love both
It
of them
is
so much.
So, see, so they put marshmallows in the Fruity Pebbles now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that kind of puts it, hey. But there's something about that fucking chocolate milk after you finish that fucking bowl of cereal to where that kind of keeps it right there.
Yeah, that's what I was literally thinking in my head. I'm like, damn, the milk afterwards is nuts.
I have to go cocoa for that reason. Because the milk, I don't know what it is. It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocoa and 7 then.
Cocoa and 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I don't like chocolate or chocolatey things at all. So I'm gonna do Or yeah, Fruity Pebbles at 4.
Fruity Pebbles at 4. Okay. I'm gonna say Cocoa and 7 as well. I'm gonna agree with D. I don't know if we've done this one before, D, or not. I've mentioned both of these things, but I think it was for a different reason. But wiffle ball versus backyard football. They might not have an opinion on this one either way, but wiffle ball versus backyard football. I think this also goes 7 games for me,
Definitely.
and I think I'm going to give it to backyard football.
I'm gonna have to go baseball.
Okay.
There was something about
Hitting a dinger.
well, yeah, that too, obviously. But when I lived with my Mimi and Pap in that neighborhood, I had a shit ton of people in my neighborhood, so we would all go up to the house up the street, and we would play in their their side yard type deal, and we'd use the roof of their house as a home run, their deck as a home run, and obviously over the house as a home run. And it's just something we did all summer long. Like we kept track of how many home runs we had,
Yeah,
all that
cool.
crazy stuff. But it's a close because backyard football is dope as fuck too. But I'll have to go baseball.
And 7.
Yeah.
Tay, I know you probably don't have an opinion, but you gonna pick one.
I never played backyard football. I just didn't do that. So I'll take wiffle ball because wiffle ball is pretty fun.
All right, so wiffle ball
I would take it up.
and what, 4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this one's a good one as well. A movie at the movie theater or a movie at the drive-in? I am going to say movie theater in 5. I think drive-ins are a thing of the past now. And I think some of the movie theaters with the reclined seats and all that good stuff, I think that takes them in 5 games. I'll give drive-ins a game just because, a game because I just remember being a little kid and going with all my friends, and our parents will be watching a movie and we'd be playing beside the cars and stuff. So
yeah, I agree. We used to sneak into the drive-in.
Nice.
You would hide us under the blankets and stuff, and they would pay for 2 people instead of fucking 4 or 5 or however many.
That's funny.
Yeah. We used to do that all the time when we get hit in the
Hey.
back of the trunk.
FBI, we got him. Let's go. Get him now.
But I was never really a big fan of the drive-ins. I never could watch the movies because you had to listen to your own radio, and it just felt like you were fucking forever away from it. And but there's something about them new seats in them movie theaters, man. And the movie theaters are they're fucking dope now.
They are. They're sick.
The shit that you can get there is fucking sweet.
I got served a full ass meal and a beer one time at a movie theater. It's nuts. Nuts.
It's crazy. So with that being said, I'm not even going to give driving a game. I'm going movie theater in 4.
All right, clean sweep, Tay.
Movie theaters now are so expensive. Like the last one I went to go watch, I watched the Barbie movie, and it was super expensive on top of like all the snacks. Whereas the drive-in, you don't find many drive-ins now, like at all now, and like you don't get the chance to go to the drive-in all the time. And it's just you open your trunk, your little hatchback, you put your little blankets in, order a pizza, you sit there with your friends. I'm gonna give drive-in 5.
Drive-in 5, okay.
Yeah.
Respect it.
I like the drive-ins.
This is one D-Money and I can relate to very well. We did a lot of it back in the day. Late night drives versus early morning drives.
Late night in 4.
In 4, clean sweep. Yeah,
nothing.
Sweep.
Listen,
anybody listening can agree. There ain't nothing better than just taking a back road late at night with your boy, Taco Bell in hand.
Mm-hmm.
The A-Team by Travis Scott bumping on the radio every time you get in the car. Getting pulled over by the highway patrol.
List.
Getting pulled over by the highway patrol all the time. Getting accused of narcotics and drinking. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm taking it in 4. You taking it in 4, Tay?
Yeah.
All right, the last one I got. Beer pong versus beer ball.
Pong.
And it's pong, I think, in 4.
What is beer ball? What's beer ball?
It's you take 2 cans of water. We call it water around here.
Yeah, it's water pong and water ball.
Water pong and water ball. You take 2 cans, and the other team you play has 2 cans, and they put them on the 4 corners of the table. You take a ball, and you throw it at the person's can, and if you hit the can while they try to get it and put the ball back on the table, your partner has to chug their water. And the first team to finish both of their waters first wins.
Yeah, no, we're going to do cup pong at Yeah.
4 games.
Yeah. At 4.
All right. What's the matchup of the day looking like? I'm calling the Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles my matchup
Yep,
of the
that's what
day.
I was gonna say. Yep.
I don't agree.
What's yours? You want me to run it down the list again?
I don't know. I think movie theater and drive-in for me.
That's your
Because
favorite
they're
one?
both so good, but yeah, Cocoa Pebbles, no, disgusted.
Killer.
Listen, I've been eating fucking Cocoa Puffs lately. And
Yeah,
like
Cocoa Puffs.
the
Yeah, they're
milk,
so
Theme
good.
song. You can sing
the
the theme song.
Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa.
Eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Do you know that one?
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
It's funny.
Really?
Listen, the only one I could think about the like the characters or whatever are Apple Jacks.
Oh
You
yeah,
got the apple and then the cinnamon stick,
yeah.
and then they always cinnamon is the Winnemon
Cinnamon.
because he's Jamaican.
Yeah, that's funny. So, all right, this is gonna be between you two. We're going into our third episode of this. Third time doing it here on the podcast, or is it fourth time? It's the fourth
sure.
time. It's the fourth time. It is the fourth time because we did appetizers, then we did Chinese food, and then we did the sandwiches, and then we got this one. So we are doing KFC food items.
What are the odds? I
What
just
are
had
the odds?
KFC.
I know. Well, you kind of like sparked my interest in doing it. We're gonna do it. Tay,
Okay.
you eat KFC a lot?
Yep.
All right. Well, here we go. The first item I'm putting on the list: the chicken littles.
3. I'm going 3.
Chicken littles at number
I'm
3.
gonna take Chicken Littles at 2.
Chicken littles at 2. Okay. All right. Next one I got popcorn chicken. Remember your list, by the way, because I ain't gonna be able to remember for you. 5. So you got 3 and 5 used, and you got 2.
I'm gonna go 4.
So 2 and 4, 3 and 5. I always say I can't remember, but maybe I will. All right. The next one I got mashed potatoes
With or without the gravy?
with the gravy.
Okay. 3.
So we got 2, 3, and 4, and you got 2, 3, and 5.
3 and 5.
So you got 1 and 4 left, and you've got what? 1 and 1 and 5. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. The next one I got. We are going to go with the chicken pot pie.
Ooh, 5. I don't like chicken pot pie.
5,
4.
4. And I got to do it because it's classic KFC not to put this on this list, and I think everyone's going to be happy with it. The KFC famous bowl.
Yeah, 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, 1.
I was gonna be pissed if you didn't put that on there because that's what I wanted 1 the whole time.
I should do it just to be a dick on about it and not put like a good ass item last. It's hard because I do it on the fly, but it's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
So, KFC bowl,
Yep.
and then the mashed potatoes,
Yep.
chicken littles,
Yep.
popcorn chicken.
Yep.
No, pot pie, and then popcorn chicken.
I put the famous bowl, Chicken Littles, mashed potatoes, popcorn chicken, and then chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pies are fire, but
I don't like theirs that much. I like their bowls and I like their chicken littles, dude. The Nashville hot ones they got.
yeah, that's what I get every time. Listen, their chicken sandwiches are fire.
Yeah, I heard they're really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
D-Money, as always, brother. Want to pull our analytics up?
Yeah, bud.
I know.
You know they're already up.
I know they're already up because you're a rock star. I know that
Rockstar
our
lifestyle.
I know that our votes
Rockstar
were
lifestyle
down.
might not make it.
Might not make it.
See what I did there?
I didn't see what you did there.
Okay, well, never mind then. All right, so we had 23 votes this week.
Mhm.
I didn't get around to sharing it a couple times like I usually do.
Yeah, me neither.
I was busy this weekend. I just didn't have the opportunity
I
to.
forgot about it. Yeah.
But favorite Jordans, favorite ice cream trucks, snacks, favorite 2000 songs, favorite Nike shoes. 2000 songs won
Mhm.
with 13 of the 23 votes. And Ice Cream Trucks Snacks came in second with 7.
Mm.
I believe I voted for all of them but Nike shoes.
I don't think I voted this time around.
I always do.
I voted for the 2000s.
Pumps the
Music.
numbers up. Pumps the numbers up.
Pump me up.
Listen, before we get started on this, it took me too long to find songs for this.
Yeah.
I was on Apple Music, like searching 2000s essential hits, country hits, rock hits, hip
Oh
hop,
my
R&B.
god. I'm going solely on the music I listen to. So
I listen to it all.
I didn't
So
listen to country back then as much as I do now. So
the only person I can really then never mind. I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to ruin anybody's list if they have something. But
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Taylor, would you like to go first, or do you want? So how it works is you give your 5 answer. I mean, you've seen the podcast enough to know about it, right? All right. So don't give all your answers, or you'll kill our vibe.
All right. Okay. All right. My number 5 song is "Best I Ever Had" by Drake.
Oh,
that was gonna be in my list. I didn't put any Drake song or my honorable mentions, but clearly I'm a big Drake fan. I just didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Respect it.
Yeah.
Good D.
Go ahead, Ty.
Okay. I'll go. Number 5. What a banger by this guy. Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston.
Let's go.
Your way too. I'm gonna sing a snippet out of every song I got. So.
Let's go. That's dope. That's a banger.
Hell yeah.
I still listen to that today.
Hell yeah. It's
My
a
playlist.
It's a banger, bro. My number 5, All Falls Down by Kanye.
Oh man, what a song! And it all falls down.
So dope.
No. Oh damn, that song's so good, dude. Holy shit.
It's such a banger.
Girl, make me start yamming out here. Oh shit, that's good. Good stuff. Tay, what you got for number 4?
Number 4 is "Down" by Jay Sean and Lil Wayne.
Let's go.
Oh my god,
Let's go.
I forgot about that song.
I didn't. I was hoping
listen to
someone
that song.
fucking.
Damn.
Also,
I also didn't put any Lil Wayne in my top, and I love Lil Wayne.
I didn't put any Lil Wayne in mine either. I did not. Number 4, Justin Timberlake, "Rock Your Body."
Hell yes.
Rock your body.
Oh shit. My number 4, "With Arms Wide Open" by Creed.
Oh man, with arms wide
Wide
open.
open. I love Creed, by the way.
Yeah, Creed is a banger.
Like that's like a real answer because if they come on, if I'm shuffling through my songs on my phone, my truck and shit, Creed comes on, you can't skip it.
Can't skip
I don't give
it.
a shit what the vibes are. You're not skipping it.
That's funny. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What you got for number 3, Tay? Your bronze medal.
my number 3 is "Gold Digger" by Kanye West.
Let's go.
Hell of a song. Hell of a song.
You take my money
when I'm in need. Hell yeah. Number 3 I got. This is my next 2 are controversies because they're right at the 2010 mark. Okay? But fuck it. It's going to slide in there.
Yep.
Number 3, "Nothing on You" by B.O.B.
Hell yes,
Nothing
dude.
on you. Nothing on you, babe.
Oh fuck. My number 3. This is like, damn, bro. Like I thought of this last second, like right before I finished my list. I was feeding Isla, and I was like, "Oh, that song's a banger."
That's funny. So.
"Steady Mobbin' by Young Money.
Oh my god, and we be steady
Tell me
mobbing.
that ain't a banger.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
That's a bop.
That's a bop right there. What you got, Tay? Number 2.
All right, my second place is "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
Ah man, that's a banger too.
A bop too.
Middle school dances. I was like,
Yeah.
Number 2. This is also a controversy because it's right at the 2010 release date, but it's in there like swimwear. "Black and Yellow" Wiz Khalifa.
Ooh.
Listen, have you ever listened to the T Mix?
The T Mix. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I might have to
banger.
check it out.
Check it out
I know.
before I get off.
I know. Lil Wayne.
Before
did
I get
one.
off, after we finish this, I want you to listen to it.
All right.
All right. My number 2, Out of My System by Bow Wow featuring T-Pain.
I don't remember that song at all, but I do
Oh.
remember listening to it back in the day. I don't know any of the words now.
Literally, I play this song frequently because I love it.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Love it. And I fucking love T-Pain. I've always
Oh,
been
yeah.
a monstrous
Oh, yeah.
T-Pain fan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, real quick. Did you see the meme of him? You know, like the Doug memes
yes.
from Doug and
Yes.
Carrie or the King of
Yes.
Queens show.
He
And
said, "Who did this?"
Yeah. I was cracking up when I saw it, dude.
He's hilarious, dude. His fucking streams, bro, are dope.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. What do you got, Tay, for your number 1 answer? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 1, I listen to it all the time. It's my ultimate favorite song, Umbrella by Rihanna and Jay-Z.
Ooh,
What about Cinderella with Breezy?
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a remix. It's a remix.
Never heard that?
No.
It's just another
It's-
version of the song.
It was when I think they were together at the time
Mm-hmm.
before the whole thing happened, but
Yeah.
it's a banger.
It's a banger. I liked Tay's answer at number 5 so much that that's my number 1 answer. Best I Ever Had by Drake. Listen,
Let's go.
sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take a. Oh. You don't even trip when friends say you ain't bringing Drake along. You know that I'm working. I'll be there as soon as I make it home. Listen, I could go word for word, but that's my
Dude,
shit
that
right
song
there.
is a banger.
Aaron's got it on her like songs every time it comes on. I'm like, hold on, and then go into it, hammer it out.
Yes. My number 1. Fucking awesome song. All-time favorite song. Probably up there with all-time favorite songs for me ever.
All right, let's hear it, dude.
Coming out of 2004, I believe.
2004. Drum roll, please.
Let Me Love You by Mario.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Maybe
that
I
song
just
is
don't get
so good.
Oh my god, what a fucking song.
I just saw on TikTok.
He just on the at the interview, and he was singing it, bro. Iced out and
Dude,
shit. Oh
he
my
still
God.
sounds good as shit.
Yeah, he does, dude. Oh man.
20 years later.
20 years later.
19, but whatever.
Still. You got you want to give your honorable mentions, D, or you want Tay to do it real quick first?
Doesn't matter to me.
Run them down, D Money. Hope that you don't got none of mine. I'll cry if you do.
I probably don't. I got 5 of them, but their list can go on, obviously.
Absolutely.
You guys said songs that could be in the honorable mentions. So I tried to give songs that I didn't think anybody would listen to,
Okay.
but you might.
You might.
So first one I got.
Yep.
It Wasn't Me by Shaggy.
Banger.
Mine.
That's funny as hell.
Banger. I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy.
I'll be missing. Yeah, that's a good song.
Mm-hmm. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Party. What's
Such a good song.
Party Alone? Isn't that what is? Isn't that what's
Yeah.
his name? Yeah, his cover of it, phenomenal.
Yeah, so good. This song, I think it was 09. All the Above, Mano and T-Pain.
Oh my God! All the above. Oh, all the above. Oh, all the above.
So good, dude.
Whoa. Yeah,
so
dude.
good.
Oh man.
And then the last one I got, Where's the Love by the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, hell of a song.
Just a
Hell of a
staple
song.
song for the world.
Yes. Hell of a
That's
song.
all I'm gonna list. That's the last one I'm listing.
We got technical difficulties out of our special guest here. You good there, Chief?
Is it working?
Yep, all good. All right, you got your honorable mentions. D just gave his last one.
Yeah, I have 2 that he didn't say.
Okay.
So I had Airplanes by B.O.B.
Hell of a
Yes.
song.
And then I put It Wasn't Me, and then I did Hey Ya.
By
Outcast.
Outkast. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I've got 3 that surprisingly haven't been said, but D's gonna hear him and he's gonna be like, "Fuck, I should have put him in there." Number 1, Bartender.
See,
But
dude, I didn't want to. I could have went 5-1 T-Pain.
yeah,
honest to God.
100. Well, another one is T-Pain song in here too. So,
Yeah.
next one I got is "What You Know" by Ti. What you know about that? I know all about that. And then number 3, I'ma buy you a drink. Ooh wee. Yeah, fucking phenomenal
Listen,
songs.
Alexa, like you should be original and put "Crank That" in there by Soldier Boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's so many good songs though. I mean,
So
T-Pain's just he's always been. You got
he's that
I'm
guy.
Sprung.
Yeah, I'm in love with a stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper. Chopped and Screwed with Luda, dude.
I could put
Can't
you in a
believe it
mansion
with Lil Wayne.
somewhere in Wisconsin.
Yes,
Hell yeah, dude. That dude's oh man. He is just an icon. He's an
yes,
icon.
big time.
I remember
Big
having
time.
his Smule app that he had. It's called I Am T-Pain.
Yeah.
And I used to remember rapping off of his songs because it was all of his songs. It wasn't like the Smule app that they have now where it's like everybody's songs. It was literally all of his. So you could rap his shit with the auto tune, and I'd be singing. I'd be like, like a damn robot.
It's so sick.
But hey guys, thank you so much for checking out tonight's episode. Tay, thanks so much for coming on. We hope you had a good time. Hope you thought it was a good time and want to come back and do it again. Love to have you back on and talk about something totally, completely different that you might not have an opinion on as much as tonight, but nonetheless, love to have you come back on. Dee's probably going to cover it, but shout out all of our sponsors that we have out there. Shout out Arbor Elite. Anything you need done, hit those guys up. Wintertime is coming. I do believe that they do winter work. I think they're looking. I think when we had Johnny on talking about snow removal, we posted this on Facebook, but if you guys are looking for dope golf gear, check it out. Shankitgolf.com. Use code Nice Guys. Is it the Nice Guys? The Nice Guys. In all lowercase letters at the end for 15% off your order. And, hey, I went on there. I looked at their website. Pretty cool shit on there. So if you're looking for even some hats, it doesn't have to be just golf gear with gloves and polos, but they've got all kinds of stuff like that on their website. Check it out. The episode was.
I actually, I ordered a hat, a hoodie, and then a towel.
That's sick.
And they came in. They're upstairs, and they're actually pretty dope.
That's sick. I'm probably gonna get a golf glove this year, and I'll probably buy a couple things in the spring off of it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I know the episode was a little bit more serious. Usually we're known for hanging out, having a laid back conversation, talking about sports. It was cool to have this kind of conversation tonight. Like I said, really appreciate Tay coming on and sharing her insight on those things. And if you guys need anybody to talk to, give us a shout out, and we'll be more than happy to reach out and talk to you and share our thoughts on it, or help you and just be a shoulder and an ear for you if you need it. As always, stay up to date with Facebook as far as posts go, as far as we appreciate everyone that's voting on the poll. All that good stuff, and we couldn't do it without you guys, so we appreciate the love and support that you've shown for us. And I'll let D Money show this one off, because this is another thing we're working on behind the scenes, and hopefully we can get an order out there soon. D, you want to show him the hat?
Yeah, so I actually got to talk to him, because I've known the guy for like literally my whole life essentially, and I went to the shop they have, and he showed me everything they do right now and like what they want to do. So we're gonna probably give them a lot of business.
That's good.
Because
That's cool.
they do hats. So like this one right here, he just did. It's a leather. I don't know if you can really see it. Maybe.
Right
there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a leather patch, and he has a shit ton of colors of hats, like a shit ton. He can do the leather, and he can also do like the actual logo, like the one that's behind you. Like he could put that on a hat as well, and like in that colorway.
That's cool.
He does the scripting, like the like he could do like metal, like tumblers and stuff.
Oh, engraving, like the laser engraving.
The laser engraving. Yeah, he does the laser engraving. They want to get a shirt press so they can start making shirts. They have a lot of things they want to do. I don't want to say it before it happens, but
sure.
But yeah, I'm psyched for those two guys. I know they really enjoy doing it. But yeah, it's called Nighttime Creations, and it's K in creations. So night as in KNIGHT, time TIME, creations KREATIONS. Their Facebook is out there. You can go on there. You can see what they do. But I'm real excited for them too. I will be definitely ordering hats. Hopefully, if they do get a shirt press, if they end up doing that, I'll start ordering like our personal stuff through him. They do koozies, um, like those like fishing hats, like you know what I'm talking about,
bucket hats kind of deal.
like they're
Or like
bucket
the
hats, but they're
boonies.
like
The
the boonie.
boonies.
Yeah. They do those.
That's dope.
They got the female hats, the ones that like you can put your ponytail through them and shit. You got those ones, but he can pretty much put whatever logo you want on them.
Oh yeah.
They do the wood,
Oh no
so like
shit.
they can make like the wooden signs. He showed me this one Ohio State one that he did for somebody, and it's pretty dope.
That's
So,
cool.
but yeah, like I said, Nighttime Creations. I don't want to take the time to spell it again because I'll probably fuck it up this time. But their Facebook is out there. His name's Tony. Well, it's Anthony and Anthony, but good dudes. If you got anything you want to get from them, check out their Facebook, see what they got. They do a really good job what they do. I mean, he put this probably 15 minutes after his machines started up because he wasn't there whenever I got there. So like once he got there, he started them up. But
That's cool.
but yeah, it's pretty dope. But
Yeah. That's dope as shit. Definitely gonna probably in the future work on some hoodie orders. So stay up to date with that. We'll release that on Facebook as well with an order form link and make it work like that, like we did with the last t-shirts and stuff. So nonetheless, like we say it all the time, thank you guys so much for the love and support. And just stay up to date on Facebook for all the updates coming at you for the future plans that we have. And so next time.
yeah.